Copy we go.
If you have...
Can't imagine where you misplaced your old pair.
For a new hat?
Indeed. And that looks just like my old...
Hey, you. Come take a look. Hey, you look like you need some stuff. Fancy watch? Spare cufflink? Single earring? You want it, I've got it. Junk? My friend, this is not junk. These are people's prized possessions. Priceless personal effects, beloved souvenirs and knickknacks. Huh? Oh, well, some of the guests left this stuff behind. Take a look for yourself.
This pocket watch has someone's initials inscribed on it.
You don't know how grateful I am to the morale improvement program. Changed my life.
You're sure he's not in the museum?
Even if he is, no one will think you dress the same as him on purpose.
I was at breakfast first. If anything, he's dressed the same.
No, I never imagined Spencer Woolridge would outlive Halcyon Helen.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. This empty bottle of spirits does not belong to any known corporate brand. Suspicious residue detected. Excellent deduction, Inspector. Imbibing of unauthorized beverages is strictly prohibited under Rizzo's company law. Ingredients include antiseptic alcohol, sucrose, and unidentifiable miscellaneous organic material. Closest match. Counterfeit spirits available at the Piraeus spaceport. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Discrepancy detected. Rizzo's company policy clearly states that all proprietary mascots must exhibit signs of physical life. Excellent observation, Inspector. Have you deduced a possible cause of death? Unusually small entry wounds indicate exotic weaponry. Closest approximations are 1. Incident involving a game of darts. 2. The Needler. Yes, Inspector. The Needler. Bespoke handgun carried and wielded by Halcyon Helen. Famously deployed by Halcyon Helen in Terror on Monarch. This weapon was responsible for executing the Chief of the Savages, played by Spencer Woolridge. This unit is incapable of providing ethical advice. This unit is also incapable of answering rhetorical questions.
Hey, you can see into the hotel rooms with that thing.
Could use this to draw a fine bead on something. Or someone.
Got a real lucky break working on Eridanos. I could have been stuck on Terra too. I heard about what happened to Helen. If Rizzo's ran that hotel, we would have kept her safe.
Must you read every law-forsaken sign in the building?
Some of us enjoy learning things.
Oh, yeah? And what did you learn about Rizzo's armor 2 hours ago?
Whoa, you scared the daylights out of me. Don't sneak up on a fellow like that. Say, you wouldn't happen to be the inspector investigating Halcyon Helen's murder. You look like you might fit the bill. Hey, I got it right. You must be a real top runner to be in charge of a case like this. Oh, wait, that's why you're talking to me. I'll help however I can. Oh, I hate to say it, but I never met Helen. Not even in passing. I've seen a couple serials, but otherwise, I don't know anything about her. But I do know a thing or two about traps. This here's my Terra Ray Grounder, and once it works, it'll zap those wing sprats out of the sky. Not yet. I'm missing a few parts before I can power it up. Actually, you seem capable, and I need some help getting those parts I'm missing. I can make it worth your while. I've got an incomplete list here, but I'm a tad on the scatterbrain side. You mind taking a look at my terminal to certify I ain't forgetting anything? I should have figured, what with you being the big inspector. Come on back once you've grabbed all the parts, and we'll see about dealing with these Terra Rays.
The coffee stain practically blends in with your lapel.
Oh, no.
You're back! Any luck finding what we need for the Terra Ray grounder? Excellent! I should finally be able to get this thing working. Here, take this. It's the least I can do for all your help against those leathery abominations. Oh wait, there's one more thing. You don't happen to have a pinwheel, do you? It'll help generate electricity as we move through the atmosphere. Plus, all Rizzo's products are supposed to have an element of whimsy. Great, I'll give you a nice bonus if you bring one back to me.
Okay, we'll spend 20 minutes in there.
Long enough to look cultured, brief enough to show we've better things to do.
You're back! Any luck finding what we need for the Terra Ray grounder? It sure is! I'll finally be able to give those winged monstrosities what for! Here's your pay for helping me put the finishing touches on this thing. Thanks again for your help, Inspector.
Sure thing. Stop, you're smudging the glass.
It's good to know we can purchase a replacement here.
This is heavenly. Think they'll have free samples? Maybe new colors they haven't tested yet. Wonder what...
Welcome to Rizzo's Distillation Station, where we process scented rocket fuel, bubbly beverages, and spirits that'll make you smile, all in the same system of pipes. The top level of the distillery is available to all guests for the purpose of sightseeing and novelty product purchasing. However, it saddens me to inform you that due to classified reasons, we are currently under a state of emergency. As such, we are offering a total of 0 lower-level tours at this time. Yes, that is not what I meant. Yes, you are almost right, but not quite correct. The word no contains such a negative connotation. As such, I have endeavored to replace it with happier words in my vocabulary. See? Yes, I didn't. I can confidently confirm that the last time I saw Miss Helen, she was alive and well and touring the distillation station. That was before we entered a classified state of emergency. Yes, but not at this time. Access has been barred to all non-essential level workers. Wow, so you are! Gosh, can I get an autograph? I'll put it on my desk right next to the one I got from Black Hole Birdie. He's so smart and strong, or, well, at least he's very strong. Oh, and I must forget to inform you, Inspector, you are still not authorized to enter the lower levels at this time. Please contact Administrator Ludovico if you feel this decision has been made in error. Oh my, but I've endeavored to follow every contractual clause and law to the letter for my entire life. Correction, for the purposes of honesty, I've endeavored to follow every contractual clause and law to the letter since my morale treatment in the RR&DD lab several weeks ago. Yes, that's right. The way I see the world, it's so pretty now. All sparkling and prismatic. I'll do anything to protect this precious gift Rizzo's has given me. Understand? Thinking on such a time makes me unhappy. As such, I avoid doing so at all costs. Technically, you are correct. I am ultimately a flawed being, as are all humans, but now I'm a happier being, flaws and all. Wonderful! I am so very pleased that I could aid you with your criminal questioning.
Now I bet you're pretty thirsty. Well, not to worry. We have every flavor of Spectrum available to delight your palate. Please note that tour guests are limited to a maximum of 3 different Rizzo's flavor samples. All beverages must be consumed on the premises. Rizzo's is not responsible for gastronomic distress, mild hallucination, or damage to your sense of taste.
Let me know if you don't want your sample. Can't let it go to waste.
Greetings, tour guest, and welcome to the tasting room of the Rizzo's distillation station. This unit has been programmed to dispense beverage samples to authorized guests. Error. Current guest does not meet the standards of this unit's authorization protocol. Please leave via the nearest available exit. Thank you. This taste testing experience is limited to authorized guests. All authorized guests must appear on a list of addresses located in Byzantium. This unit has been programmed to offer critical analysis of all things related to taste. This unit finds your demeanor, appearance, bearing, and/or class in very poor taste. Affirmative. This unit has been programmed to recognize over 2,000 expressions of taste, including but not limited to the following: fruity, acidic, bright, earthy, pungent, tangy, dirt. This unit has also been programmed to criticize your taste in the following: clothing brands, cigarettes, Aetherwave dramas.
Thank you greatly for stopping by. On behalf of Rizzo's, I hope you enjoy viewing a small part of our facility.
Pretty sure that's the same medical grade dye we use to identify blood clots. It never leaves your system.
I bet you believed Halcyon Helen's death was the worst part of all this.
What? You don't mean to tell me that it isn't? There's something even worse?
There is. I spent 6,000 bits on a new suit for the unveiling, but now that it's been...
Inspector, not a moment too soon. I've just finished my autopsy report. Ruth Bellamy was killed by plasma damage to the upper vertebrae, the occipital bone, and the cerebellum. If it's any consolation, her death was instantaneous and painless. I've also discovered a poisonous compound in Miss Bellamy's stomach lining ingested during her last meal. Toxic, but not enough to kill her. Spencer Woolrich complained of a stomach ailment around the same time period. I assumed he was being, Spencer. But now I'm not so sure. Almost certainly. Well, possibly they were trying to make her extremely uncomfortable, but I suppose killing her would also satisfy that criterion. The thought occurred to me. I tested this hypothesis by vacating the contents of my stomach and testing for the presence of the same toxin. Slightly elevated levels of mercury and an alarming amount of blue food coloring. But other than that, no. I'm certain it wasn't, as you put it, just the hotel food. Oh, how curious. I do believe you're right. I wonder if this has something to do with the autopsy process. She was Halcyon Helen up until the moment I brought her to the operating table. But as soon as I cut her open, I stopped thinking of her as Halcyon Helen. It's almost as if she stopped being an icon and became a human being. I had a feeling you'd understand.
The Grand Colonial Front Desk warmly welcomes you, Inspector. It's a pleasure to see you again. How may I be of assistance to you, Inspector? It certainly is a marvel of modern ingenuity, luxury, and ambition. Please, allow me to answer any curiosities you might have about our building and the amenities on offer. Most certainly. All the important folks can be found in the utmost parts of the hotel. You can hardly walk 3 feet without bumping into a tossball grate or a bored exec. Though maybe don't bump into them. Could be harmful to your health. Who would be interested in a staff-only area? Most folks never ask about the sewers beneath Rizzo's plant, either. Oh no, Inspector, ma'am. I live down there too. But that doesn't mean I plan to abide in the bowels of the Grand Colonial forever. The best thing about Sublight compared to other organizations is the potential for upward mobility. We bottom rungers get in, do our job, do it well, then move up and on. This is but one rung on the grand ladder of life, you see? If you're sure. I'd love to, Inspector, but I don't really have the authority. Moreover, the guests were promised exclusivity. If I let you up there, I'll never hear the end of it. How careless of me. Actually, that's not the only way I was careless. I just remembered you have VIP access rights as a special guest of Slug. Let me just set you up with VIP guest floor access. Done. You can now come and go as you please. My apologies, Inspector, but that would be a severe violation of guest privacy. We here at the Grand Colonial firmly believe that... All right, my supervisor just walked out of earshot. Some folks just don't understand the importance of gossip. About whom? And what would you wish to know? You know, out of everyone here, I probably knew the least about Helen. I'm not much of an Aether Wave watcher myself. And Helen always had a crowd of admirers chasing her, you see, so she rarely stopped to chat. Friendly enough, surely, but always seemed untouchable. Emphasis on seemed. Now that you mention it, she was usually calm and collected, but every so often I'd see her looking all wild-eyed and intense. It seemed as if she was determined about something. Or maybe she was just hungry. That woman ordered a lot of food. Maybe show business gives you a faster metabolism. Ah, Birdie. Is he bigger than he is dumb, or dumber than he is big? I have a bet with a friend. Not sure we'll ever get it to pay out. Birdie used to be Helen's beau, though he isn't anymore, and not just because she's dead. If I had 1,000,000 bits, I'd spend every one just to learn what caused their split. Her deal? Not making them. I'd laugh at my own comment, but everyone knows there's no bigger joke than the prophet of profitability herself. Didn't you hear Helen's interview? That woman is the definition of humbuggery. Anyone who gives her the time of day is a right fool. I mean, Spencer Woolridge has taken several of her productivity seminars, and look where it got him. Don't waste your time. If looks could kill, he'd have put her in the ground 10 times over. Man's clearly jealous of her success compared to his. See, I'd bet we're the only two people thinking about him in all of Eridanos. And I only am because you mentioned his name. If you leave woolly cow milk out, it turns to curds. Leave the curds out, they begin to get stale, then rot. Woolridge is on his way to the trash bin, and everyone knows it. Either he's in denial, or he knew Helen would be checking out soon, judging by his increasing demands for a room upgrade. That's a shame, Inspector. What if I wanted to know a little about you? A dashing gunslinger type, then. I'm sure the investigation will turn out splendidly in your hands. Or at least Mr. Kincannon seems confident enough to believe so.
What floor would you like to visit? If you see Black Hole Birdie, be sure to get an autograph for me. Just joking, I've already got one.
About time you arrived. I see you haven't dressed the way I asked you to, but I suppose that was expecting too much of a non-industry lout. Expect a complaint to management. Now, unless you'd like to waste more of my time, I suggest we begin rehearsing. Ready? You've fallen right into my trap, Captain. Oh, don't bother to fight back. You cannot hope to stop me from installing philosophism as the system's reigning ideology. does the scenery taste? Good, I trust. Wait a moment. You're not wearing a bellhop's ID, which must mean you're not Owen's understudy. That man can't even be relied upon to find his own replacement. No, this is curious indeed. Who are you? And how did you get in here? You're here to investigate me? Oh, I assure you, I'm nothing special. Just an old crook with more money than time. That was a quote from The Retiree's Revenge, in which I played an ex-thief turned decrepit old man. But of course, I'm certain you already recognized it. Now, what shall I sign first? Your weapon? Your wallet? Or perhaps something a little more personal? Undergarment signatures have been popular of late, or so I've heard. I'd be delighted. Oh, damn. My pen's out of ink. I'll just get you a portrait of my face as a souvenir. I'm sure I have the prints around here somewhere. By the by, how did you get in here? The only non-staff individual cleared to enter guest rooms is supposed to be the inspector for Bellamy's murder. Oh, hello. Hi. Terribly sorry, Inspector. I didn't realize it was you. Understand that I am beyond willing to comply with your search for the fiend that did Bellamy in. You know, now that I look at you, you're the perfect reflection of me, back when I starred in The Marauder's Bane. The absolute picture of justice. Ask me anything at all. I might even give you a straight answer. Indeed. The agonizing bowel pain was most undignifying. While I've certainly had no shortage of inadequate hotel meals, this was most explicitly pronounced. I suspect poison. And who would be most likely to poison me but Chef Anwar? Oh, we've clashed almost non-stop about his slop preparation. He must have tainted my meal in retaliation. None that I can think of. I treat all hotel staff equally, and with the minimum level of respect that they deserve. Is that a jibe? Could you imagine the tabloid headlines? Spencer Woolrich, Aetherwave star, spotted in gastronomic distress. Oh, unseemly hardly describes the half of it. How alarming! Whoever targeted her was certainly targeting me. I can only thank my ironclad constitution that I'm standing here before you. Oh, that's very good to know. Perhaps the poisoner simply meant to incapacitate us both, disrupt the product launch. I couldn't say, Inspector. I'm merely an actor. Very well, then. Certainly. But one quick question before we begin, if I may. How was it that Bellamy met her end? Why, I'm merely worried for my own sake. Perhaps whoever came after her could come after me next. But if you don't want to tell me, I understand. Whatever happened, I hope poor Bellamy didn't suffer. I was meditating, of course. That's how I get into character. Respectfully, Inspector, it is rather counterproductive to commune with others while meditating. All actors have their methods, and this has been mine ever since I met that wonderful prophet of profitability. She taught me it for my role in The Unemployed Cometh. I had to lie face down on artificially heated pavement. The director wanted our suffering to be convincing. Needless to say, being able to leave my body helped to mitigate the pain, both during the 8-hour shoot and with the second-degree burns afterwards. I owe that woman much. Yeah, actually, only since I've been at the Colonial. The Unemployed Cometh was shot on site. That makes it, a few weeks. I cannot recommend her services enough. If you haven't been to see her yet, you really should. I'll answer whatever you wish. Bellamy has been my co-star throughout the autumn of my career. I should like to think I knew her. In fact, I cannot name a single role in the last 10 years that did not involve her in some way, unless you count the uncredited silent shopkeep on Melissa's Meteoroids. Oh, it wasn't. And don't think I haven't picked up on your tone. Resenting Bellamy is one thing, but killing her is another completely. It's also beneath me. I suppose that is enough on that grim subject.
What floor would you like to visit? To the lobby we go.
Beep, beep, beep. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Analysis of this stovetop reveals an alarming degree of grease buildup, approximating proximity to volatile gases and chemicals. Chances of an explosive combustion upon next use currently at 92.9%. Searching slug work logs. No work log found. Creating conjecture. Slug has likely not fixed this issue due to a lack of responsibility on the part of their employees. Most corporations have regular cleaning procedures to prevent damage to company property. Slug, already unlike most corporations in a variety of ways, does not. That or the employees tasked with inspecting are shirking their duties. For shame.
Yes? Are you here for the double rack of smoked sprat? Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you'll have to wait. Oh, don't give me that look. Let me see if I can pencil you in for later. Actually, what am I saying? I can't do that. I'm booked for the next month. You'll have to make a reservation. Crime or no crime, I must keep my head on my work. One does not simply become the head chef in all of Eridanos by fretting over irrelevant happenings. Well, that's not entirely true. There are the purpleberry orchards and, No, you're right. I can't afford to skimp. Who exactly are you anyhow? What is it you want? You're the inspector? Here? Why? I mean, you may ask me whatever you want. I have nothing to hide. Of course I did. I would never allow anyone else to touch the meals of so important a guest. Oh my law, this is the end, isn't it? My mother always warned me that the culinary world was too dangerous, but I didn't heed her warnings. Okay, I wasn't the one who did it, but I might have been mistaken when I said I was constantly watching Helen's food. Spencer Woolrich and Bellhop Owens were underfoot in the kitchen as I was preparing Helen's meal. Either one of them could have tampered with the food when I was fetching ingredients. Mr. Woolrich often finds the hotel's meals wanting. He seems to enjoy complaining in person. While I could appreciate someone with a discerning palate for once, I believe that Mr. Woolrich simply enjoys the attention he gets from us. Though don't tell him I said as much. If you wish to speak with him, Mr. Woolrich can most likely be found in his suite on the VIP guest floor. He's usually there if he's not poking around here. Well, it's a breach of professionalism, of course. Why else would I worry about it? What? Truly? That's an alarming business oversight. Instead of volatile chemicals, the corporations should put barbiturates in everything. Everyone likes barbiturates. But I don't believe that was a risk with Helen's meal. I was, up to something else. I may have taken some time to engage in a teensy bit of recreational drinking, and consequently, I may have been somewhat less than coherent after preparing Helen's meal. Yes, but not specifically. Owens often procures exotic ingredients from the creatures at the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve. Our guests can be rather particular. Let's not talk about the incident with the Raptidon pheromone glands. It's always hard to say when Owens might be back. If I were you, I'd make a trek to the reserve myself. Otherwise, who knows how long you'll have to wait. I understand your reluctance, but... Oh, I just remembered. The kitchen security camera. It'll prove I'm telling the truth about everything. Constable Keene has access to the security footage in her office at the spaceport. If you visit her, you can figure out what truly happened with Helen's meal. Thank you for your understanding, Inspector. I'm sure you'll find the true culprit before long.